She was singing to save her sick son, until a Cadillac stopped to hear the song. On a busy street corner in downtown Los Angeles, Amanda Taylor stood with her guitar, her voice trembling as she sang. Her once vibrant eyes carried the weight of desperation, and her fingers, worn from countless hours of practice, danced across the strings. The cool evening breeze mixed with the hum of traffic, carrying her haunting melody through the air. She sang not for fame or applause, but for something far more precious: the life of her 3-year-old son, Liam. The child, bundled in a thick blanket, rested in a stroller beside her. His face was pale, and his eyes seemed too heavy for someone so young. Yet, he managed a small smile whenever Amanda looked his way. To the passers-by, Amanda's performance might have seemed like just another street act, but to her, each note was a plea for help. She needed money to cover Liam's mounting medical bills, and singing was the only way she knew how to make a difference. The hospital had become a second home to Amanda and Liam. Bright, cheery walls decorated with cartoon animals did little to mask the grim reality of the situation. Dr. Evelyn Carter, a kind yet straightforward pediatric oncologist, had delivered the devastating news just weeks ago. Stage 4 neuroblastoma, she had said gently, her eyes filled with empathy. Amanda's heart had shattered in that moment, but she had no time to mourn. Liam needed her to be strong. Back on the street corner, Amanda's voice broke slightly as she hit a high note, the raw emotion behind her performance undeniable. A few people slowed down to drop bills and coins into the open guitar case at her feet, murmuring words of encouragement. But Amanda barely noticed. Her mind was consumed by thoughts of Liam's treatment: chemotherapy, radiation, surgeries. Each step on the medical roadmap felt like a mountain she had to climb, and the costs were staggering. As she finished her song and prepared to start another, Amanda heard the rumble of a powerful engine. A pink Cadillac, its glossy exterior gleaming under the city lights, pulled up to the curb. The window rolled down, and to her shock, none other than Snoop Dogg leaned out, his unmistakable face framed by dark sunglasses and a sly smile. He seemed to radiate a kind of effortless cool that instantly drew the attention of everyone nearby. For a moment, Amanda froze. Was this real? Was Snoop Dogg, the Snoop Dogg, really here, listening to her sing? The crowd around her began to grow, curious to see what was happening. Some took out their phones, snapping pictures and recording videos. Snoop gestured for Amanda to continue, his voice warm and encouraging. "Go ahead, sis. Let me hear that soul," he said. Amanda's hands trembled as she began her next song, a heartfelt rendition of "Lean on Me." Her voice, already imbued with emotion, seemed to take on a new strength under Snoop's attentive gaze. He nodded along to the rhythm, clearly moved by her performance. When she finished, the crowd erupted into applause, and Amanda wiped a tear from her cheek. Snoop stepped out of the Cadillac, his towering frame commanding attention. He approached Amanda, his demeanor both relaxed and sincere. "What's your name?" he asked. "Amanda," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. "And who's this little man?" Snoop said, crouching down to look at Liam, who stared back with wide, curious eyes. "This is my son, Liam," Amanda said, her voice breaking. He's sick. I'm singing to raise money for his treatment." Snoop's expression softened. "I can tell you're fighting hard for him. That's what a real mama does." He stood and looked around at the crowd, his voice booming. "Y'all hear this? This woman's out here, pouring her heart into every song, just to save her baby. Let's show her some love." The crowd erupted in cheers, and people began dropping more money into Amanda's guitar case. Some even handed her bills directly, their faces filled with sympathy and admiration. Snoop reached into his pocket and pulled out a thick wad of cash, placing it gently into her hand. "This is just a start," he said. "We're gonna do more." Amanda was speechless. Tears streamed down her face as she tried to thank him, but the words wouldn't come. Snoop gave her a reassuring pat on the shoulder. "Don't even trip, Amanda. You just keep singing, and we'll keep supporting." As he climbed back into his Cadillac, Snoop turned to the crowd once more. "Y'all take care of her and Liam, all right? Let's show some real love out here." With that, he drove off, leaving Amanda overwhelmed by the outpouring of generosity around her. That night, as Amanda counted the donations, she realized that the amount was enough to cover Liam's next round of treatment. She clutched him tightly, whispering a prayer of gratitude. But more than the money, the encounter with Snoop had given her something she hadn't felt in a long time: hope. Little did Amanda know, this was just the beginning of a journey that would bring unexpected allies, life-changing opportunities, and a renewed sense of faith in the power of community. And it all started with a song on a busy street corner, a mother's unwavering love, and a pink Cadillac that stopped to listen. The next morning, Amanda awoke to the sunlight streaming through the worn curtains of her small apartment. She glanced at Liam, still fast asleep in his crib, his tiny chest rising and falling rhythmically. Last night felt like a dream, but the crisp bills now safely tucked into a jar on the kitchen counter reminded her it was all real. Snoop Dogg's unexpected kindness had brought not only money but a surge of energy and determination she hadn't felt in months. She made a mental note to call the hospital and schedule Liam's next treatment. Every step forward in his fight against neuroblastoma was a blessing, and Amanda was determined to make the most of it. After fixing a simple breakfast of toast and scrambled eggs, she began planning her day. The money she had received was enough to ease the immediate burden, but she knew it wouldn't last long. The cost of Liam's treatments was astronomical. She would need to keep singing and hoping for the best. As she packed up her guitar and gathered Liam's things, her phone buzzed. It was a number she didn't recognize. Answering hesitantly, she was greeted by an enthusiastic voice on the other end. "Hi, is this Amanda Taylor?" the woman asked. "Yes, this is Amanda," she replied cautiously. "This is Karen Miller, a producer with Channel 8 News. We saw a video of you singing last night, and we're so moved by your story. Would you be willing to do an interview? We'd love to share your journey and help raise awareness about Liam's condition." Amanda's heart skipped a beat. The thought of being on TV was daunting, but she realized it could be a powerful platform to spread her message and perhaps attract more help. She agreed, and they arranged to meet later that afternoon. By the time Amanda arrived at the designated location, her nerves were frayed. A small crowd had gathered, drawn by the presence of the news crew setting up their cameras. Liam, nestled in his stroller, seemed unfazed by the commotion. Karen greeted her warmly, putting her at ease with a few words of encouragement before the interview began. As the camera started rolling, Amanda shared her story. She spoke about Liam's diagnosis, the sleepless nights spent worrying about his future, and the overwhelming financial strain of his treatments. Tears welled up in her eyes as she recounted the moment Snoop Dogg stopped to listen to her sing. "He didn't just give us money," Amanda said, her voice trembling with emotion. "He gave us hope. He made me believe that maybe we're not alone in this fight." The interview aired that evening, and the response was immediate. Messages of support poured in from people all over the city. Donations began trickling in through an online fundraiser Karen had set up for Amanda and Liam. Local businesses reached out, offering food, clothes, and even free guitar strings for Amanda. For the first time in what felt like forever, Amanda felt the weight on her shoulders begin to lighten. But the biggest surprise came 2 days later when she received another phone call. This time, it was from someone in Snoop Dogg's team. "Hey Amanda," the voice said warmly. "This is Ryan, one of Snoop's managers. He's been thinking about you and Liam since the other night, and he wants to do more to help. Would you be open to meeting him at the studio tomorrow?" Amanda was stunned. "Of course," she stammered. "We'd be honored." The following day, Amanda and Liam found themselves in a sleek recording studio filled with gold and platinum records lining the walls. Snoop greeted them with his trademark smile and an easygoing demeanor that immediately put Amanda at ease. He crouched down to Liam's level, holding out a fist for the little boy to bump. "What's up, champ?" Snoop said, his voice warm and playful. Liam giggled and returned the gesture, his small fist connecting with Snoop's much larger one. Snoop led Amanda to a couch, where they sat and talked. He wanted to know more about Liam, about their life, and about Amanda's dreams. She admitted she had always wanted to record her own music, but had never had the time or resources to pursue it seriously. "Let's change that," Snoop said with a grin. "We're gonna get you in the studio and make something beautiful. Your voice deserves to be heard." Amanda couldn't believe what she was hearing. Snoop and his team spent the next few hours brainstorming ideas. They decided to produce a single, a song that would tell Amanda's story and serve as a beacon of hope for others facing similar struggles. The proceeds from the song would go directly toward Liam's medical expenses. In the weeks that followed, Amanda threw herself into the project. She spent long hours in the studio, pouring her heart into every lyric and note. It was exhausting but exhilarating, a chance to channel all her pain, love, and hope into something tangible. Snoop was there every step of the way, offering guidance and encouragement. His belief in her talent gave her the confidence to push past her insecurities. When the song was finally finished, it was nothing short of magical. Titled Lullaby for Liam, it was a hauntingly beautiful ballad that captured the depth of a mother's love and the strength it took to keep fighting. The song was released online, and within days, it went viral. People from all over the world were moved by Amanda's story and her powerful voice. The financial support that followed was overwhelming. Major news outlets picked up the story, and celebrities began sharing the song on their social media platforms. The fundraiser exploded, raising enough money not only to cover Liam's treatment, but also to help other families facing similar challenges. For Amanda, the success of the song was about more than the money. It was a testament to the power of resilience and the kindness of strangers. She had gone from singing on a street corner to sharing her music with the world, all because one man in a pink Cadillac had taken the time to listen. As Liam underwent his treatments, Amanda continued to sing. She performed at hospitals, schools, and charity events, using her voice to inspire others and raise awareness about childhood cancer. And though the road ahead was still uncertain, she faced it with a renewed sense of purpose and a heart full of gratitude. Months passed, and Amanda's life became a whirlwind of change. The success of her song, Lullaby for Liam, had not only brought financial relief, but had also turned Amanda into a symbol of resilience and hope for countless people around the world. Liam's treatments were now fully funded, and Amanda found herself at the center of a growing movement advocating for families battling childhood cancer. However, despite all the attention and newfound stability, Amanda's focus remained on Liam. His little giggles and the way he clung to her finger reminded her every day of why she had started this journey. One quiet evening, as Amanda sat by Liam's bedside in the hospital, her phone buzzed with a text. It was from Snoop Dogg. "Hey, Amanda, got an idea. Let's do something big for Liam and kids like him. Hit me back." Amanda stared at the message in disbelief. What more could this man, who had already done so much, possibly want to do? Without hesitation, she called him, and within minutes, a plan began to take shape. Snoop suggested organizing a benefit concert. He wanted to bring together some of the biggest names in music to perform and raise money for pediatric cancer research. "This ain't just about Liam," he explained. "This is about giving all these kids a fighting chance." Amanda was speechless. The idea was overwhelming, but Snoop's confidence was infectious. Over the next few weeks, the project came to life. Venues were booked, artists signed on, and tickets sold out almost instantly. Amanda was nervous but excited. For the first time, she would share a stage with professional musicians and tell her story to a massive audience. On the night of the concert, the energy was electric. Thousands of people packed into the stadium, their voices merging into a hum of anticipation. Backstage, Amanda clutched her guitar, her hands trembling. Snoop, sensing her nerves, placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "You've got this, Amanda. Just be you. That's all you need to do." When it was finally her turn, Amanda stepped onto the stage, the spotlight blinding her for a moment. The crowd erupted into cheers, but as she began to sing, the noise faded into the background. Her voice, raw and powerful, filled the space, and the audience fell silent, captivated by her story. Liam, seated in the front row with his favorite nurse, watched with wide eyes, clapping his tiny hands. The highlight of the night came when Snoop joined Amanda on stage. Together, they performed a soulful duet, blending her haunting melodies with his rhythmic flow. It was a moment that transcended music, a perfect union of two worlds coming together for a cause larger than themselves. By the time the concert ended, there wasn't a dry eye in the house. The event raised millions of dollars, enough to fund not only Liam's remaining treatments but also groundbreaking research that had the potential to change the future of pediatric cancer care. Amanda could hardly believe what had been accomplished. She had started on a street corner, singing for spare change, and now she was part of a movement that could save countless lives. But the true miracle came weeks later. During a routine checkup, Dr. Carter called Amanda into her office. Her expression was unreadable, and Amanda braced herself for bad news. Instead, the doctor smiled. "Amanda, I don't know how to say this, but Liam's scans show no evidence of disease. He's in remission." The words hung in the air for a moment before Amanda broke down in tears. She pulled Liam into her arms, holding him as though she could protect him from ever being hurt again. It was the moment she had prayed for every night, the moment she had fought so hard to reach. Word of Liam's remission spread quickly, and Amanda's story became a beacon of hope for others. She continued to sing, but now her performances carried an even deeper sense of gratitude and purpose. She partnered with charities, spoke at events, and used her platform to advocate for families still fighting their battles. As for Snoop, he remained a steadfast supporter and friend. The two often joked about how a pink Cadillac and a single song had brought them together. But deep down, they both knew it was more than chance. It was a testament to the power of compassion and the extraordinary things that can happen when people come together. Years later, as Amanda watched Liam run across the playground, his laughter filling the air, she felt a profound sense of peace. Her journey had been filled with heartbreak and uncertainty, but it had also shown her the resilience of the human spirit and the boundless capacity for kindness in the world. She would never forget the moment a pink Cadillac stopped to listen to her song, for the moment that changed everything.